I have two theories going on in my mind, and I'm only 20 pages in. Something that's like too obvious. 7 people on Pip's person of interest list. So maybe in this case, the police are in on it. I can't wait to finish this. And then it turned out it wasn't, but I still think it is. But I was right not to trust this person. I was right. Well, I finished the book and I finished the show. Well, good morning and happy Sunday. And sorry for the washer going in the background, but Sunday is usually my day to straighten up the house and clean up the house. But I haven't started my April book yet that was recommended by Katy. So in case you missed my introduction to my April Booktuber that I choose, please go back and watch that. I'll make sure to put that in the video down below. But the book that Katy at I Would Rather Be Reading chose for me was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. So I am going to start that today. I'm gonna try to read a little bit with my eyes right now. I'm actually on sprints with Katy. Well, not me personally on sprints. I'm streaming her sprints. She's on sprints. And I'm gonna read a little bit. I'm also gonna do some things around the house. I do have some cleaning up to do, and I do have some schoolwork to do. So we'll see how far I get today. But that is the plan. And of course, like the last 2 months, I am going to take you along with me on my journey through this book, my reactions, all that stuff. Don't worry, there's not going to be spoilers this time. It was made clear last month with my poll that you guys didn't want spoilers when I do these vlogs. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's Nugget. He's on his little like crinkle mat and he's just stretching and trying to get comfortable. So sorry about that. But anyway, I'm on the different side of the couch. I've been displaced because Misty took my normal spot. So yeah, I don't know. This side of the couch doesn't feel as comfortable. But anyway, I'm gonna read a little bit while the wash is going. All right, so I'm about 20 pages in. I'm gonna try to get some more stuff done around the house, so I'm gonna switch to the audio and see how much I can listen to. So right now, nothing crazy is going on. We're just finding out the information about what happened the day of the murder, or like right before the murder, and how they declared Andy Bell dead and why they think her boyfriend Sal did it. So I'm curious to see. I'm already like a little suspicious of a couple of people, and we've only really been introduced to like 3 people or 4 people. I don't even know, like aside from her father and her brother. But I don't know, maybe I just watched too much of like those police shows like Chicago PD and Law and Order and things like that. So we'll see. I usually don't guess the murders and things like that and the thrillers. So I have two theories going on in my mind, and I'm only 20 pages in. So we'll just have to see if I am way off or if, we'll see. But I'm probably way off, and I have a feeling that like my theories are like set up that way on purpose. So we'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna switch to the audio and I'm gonna go get some things done around the house and see how much more I can listen to today. Well, hello. It's been a while since I've read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It's been a crazy few days. I had some homework assignments due and outlines, and I'm working on my final project for the spring semester for my school library and information science class. So that's been a lot. And I haven't really been feeling well. So I really kind of just put this down for a little while. And on my way to work, I've been listening to the 3rd book in the Noodle Shop Mysteries, the Cozy Mystery, just because it's a very fast and like easily digestible read. And like, I really want to focus on this. So it is Wednesday. Of course, if you've been around for a while, Wednesdays I stream Kat's What's Up Wednesday sprints from Kat's Novel Adventures. So that's going in the background right now. And I'm going to pick up a little bit more of this. So where we left off last, I was about about 70 pages in. So again, I didn't get very far. But we have Pip allying herself with Sal's brother, Ravi, to try to figure out what happened. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Again, I have theories. They line up a little bit with, I think, something that's like too obvious. So I'm curious like where this is going to go, because the 4 theories that Pip lays out about what happened, plus some things that you pick up on in these chapters, like it's too obvious for that to be the answer. So like, I know that's probably not going to be it. Obviously, I'm still like in the way beginning of this book. So hopefully theories will start to form as we get more information. But anyway, I did want to check in. So I am going to read a little bit more of this, and I will let you know how much I got read and my thoughts so far, and if I have any like surprise reactions or anything like that. All right, so I'm in bed. I'm just now picking up the book to read because I had so many things that I got sidetracked on. But there's like one thing that's kind of really annoying me, and it's not a big thing, but I don't know why it's annoying me so much. So when they're talking about like the phone calls between people, they keep saying like, oh, Andy rang him, or it says here like when they're talking about one of the text messages, on Monday afternoon, please just ring someone so we know you're safe. Like, I don't know. Nobody talks like that. I mean, maybe like in a different country. I just feel like, I don't know. Like that's not maybe it's just not a New York thing. I don't know. Like use the word called. Like call somebody to let us know you're safe. Nobody says ring somebody. But then again, like, did I miss it? Like, is this book supposed to be taking place like not in the United States? I don't know. But anyway, that's just like kind of where I am right now. A little annoyance. It's not gonna like, affect my rating, but it is a little annoying. I've been all over the place. But I'm 170 pages in, up to chapter 19. I listened on my way to work this morning and on my way home, and I listened while I did my nails. So I guess they could be kind of Eastery nails if they last for another week, but they're like this ombre-ish kind of effect. So anyway, I got up to chapter 19. Like the list just keeps getting longer and longer for the suspects. And there's too many people for me to keep track of. And this is probably one of the reasons why, like, I love and hate mysteries. Like, I do enjoy reading mysteries. I enjoy cozy mysteries. I even do enjoy thrillers from time to time. And I really like mysteries. But when there gets to be too many people, it doesn't lose my interest. Like, I'm still interested, but I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not even going to try to figure it out anymore at this point. So I don't know if I'm quite there yet. I have theories, but again, my theories are like too obvious based off of like the entire thing that she talks about in her notes and everything. So my theories are probably going to be like way too easy for them to actually be true. So yeah, I have like 2 people that I'm considering at this point in the book. We're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on Pip's person of interest list. But I am definitely interested, and I'm actually like very interested in watching the Netflix show, movie. I don't know if it's a show or a movie on Netflix, but I'm definitely interested in that after I finish this. So we will see. I'm hoping to finish soon. So today was my last day of work for a week. I'm on spring break. And my goal is to get this finished hopefully by Monday, maybe Tuesday the latest, because I do have a few things going on this weekend. So the only thing I don't like about it and this is kind of like my shtick with like all kinds of like mysteries, is like, why are you investigating this? Like, you're not law enforcement. Like, I get it, but it just seems like too convenient that you are coming up with like all of these theories and, interviewing all of these people. Like, why you when the police didn't do it? Although maybe in this case, the police are in on it or covering something up. In that case, maybe. But like, that's my first thought when I think about these things, is like, why are you able to do this and the cops weren't? And my first thought is always, well, maybe it's because the cops are in on it. Now, I don't know if that's the case here. Like, maybe. But I don't know. Those are just like my things. But of course, you got to suspend your sense of reality when reading, these kinds of books. So that is fun. But the realist in me is just like, come on. But it is a fun read so far. So I'm going to continue with this. I am currently, on Friday, I stream sprints for Chrissy at Chrissy's Purple Library. She doesn't sprint every Friday, but she does like a couple of Fridays. Like, I think she has 2 this month. Last month, I think she did 1 or 2. So that's fun. And I really love Chrissy. She's just like such a great soul. And I absolutely love her. So I always join her sprints whenever I can. I will check back in a little bit later, maybe before I go to bed, to let you know if anything has changed in my thoughts or if anything exciting happens. Again, I'm not going to give any spoilers. But I have my theories. And things are coming up that are like, oh my God, really? Like, that happened? Okay, now I could see it, but like, it is a little bit of a shocker. But again, I'm only about like 40% in, because, I am listening and reading depending on what I'm doing. So I guess we'll just have to see. So I was listening to most of this today. I'm up to chapter 27. So I think it was like, last I checked on the audio, about 63 or 65%. I can't wait to finish this. So couple of thoughts. I love Ravi, which is Sal's brother. So she teams up with Ravi to try to figure out everything that's going on. And again, the whole premise is whether or not Sal is guilty of killing his girlfriend, Andy, and also, taking his own life. And things are happening. Again, thoughts are going through my mind. There was a scene that we almost had like a, oh my God moment. And then it turned out it wasn't. But I still think it is. And I think that was just to throw us off the track. So we'll see. I love that Ravi calls her Sergeant. I don't know why. I just think it's so like funny. I just love their relationship, their friendship, and the fact that, I don't know, maybe she has like a little crush on him, just like the way they describe their interactions. But I do really enjoy seeing that develop. So I'm going to read for a little bit in bed until I pretty much can't read anymore. It's been a long couple of days. So yesterday, Friday, was my last day of work. I am officially on spring break, but I had a rough night last night. I couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning. It just wasn't a good night. And then today I was doing a couple of things around the house, but then some other things came up. So I did listen to most of today on audio. But I am getting pretty tired. It is like almost 10 o'clock. So I'm going to try to read a couple more chapters, or maybe I shouldn't, because maybe I'll wind up staying up all night and finishing. And I don't want to miss anything. But there's definitely connections between the suspects being made and who is involved with who and all these things. I've given up trying to actually figure out the mystery because, again, I'm not good at it and I'd rather just like enjoy the story. So I'm just going to continue. I still, like I said, I still think that little like almost oh my God moment is still gonna come back as a possible oh my god moment later on, I think. And I do still have a theory about a family member of somebody being involved. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna spoil which family member or who I think. But I could be totally off about that because I most often am when it comes to mysteries. So I'm just gonna enjoy the ride. And I guess I'll check back in and see how far I got, if I made it any further tonight, or if I'm just going to continue tomorrow, depending on how tired I am. All right, so the plan is to finish this tonight. I have like maybe 100 pages left. Like a little bit more than 100 pages, maybe like 110 or 120. So I want to finish this tonight. We found out whether or not Sal did it. And then who else is involved and the back and forth. The suspects keep going back and forth. Like, what? I don't know. Like, I just want this to be over already. Not because I'm not enjoying it, because I really am, but like, I'm just so anxious to find out what the whole story is and what the whole deal is. And I just want to get there. So I'm gonna read some more. I am doing streaming some sprints. I think tonight it's Wendy at Wendy's Inspire Reads, and do that tonight. It is Monday night. And because, you know, it is spring break, I don't have to worry about getting up early tomorrow. So regardless, I am going to finish this tonight. And then once I finish it, I'm going to watch the show on Netflix. So we'll see how the two line up. Okay, I am convinced that everybody's in on it at this point. Like, seriously, everybody is in on it. That is my prediction. I'm probably totally wrong, but there's definitely a whole bunch of people interacting with each other that have to do with Andy's disappearance. I don't know, but I'm gonna continue, and I'll check back in a little while, and hopefully I can get some answers pretty soon. So I was wrong and I was right. Like, I was wrong because I had shifted who I thought it was originally was. And we still don't know if this was the case. We just kind of have another suspicion or another suspect. But I was right not to trust this person that all of a sudden just came up as a possible suspect. And I really think that this is the person. Oh my God. I don't know why. I don't know how it's connected. But I was right to say that this person seems a little bit too easy to leave off the hook, and I don't know. But anyway, okay, I gotta finish. I'm almost there. I'm like maybe 60 pages. I gotta get this done. I gotta find out what happened. Okay, so I know I just got all excited because of who we think is in on this now. So I'm on chapter 41, but now I'm second guessing it. Like, chapter 39, we got like, or chapter 39, we got this like surprise, oh my God, it's this person. And then chapter 40, I'm like, I don't know, like it was just a page and a half, and I'm like, I don't know, it's too easy. So we'll see. I know I keep like stopping and checking in with you guys. I need to just like finish and then let you know at the end what happened. Okay, now I'm really confused. That's all I'm gonna say right now. I was right. I still got like 20 pages left, but I was right. I'm never right. I was right. Okay, I just finished. And wow. So I was right. I am never right. I thought it was for a different reason, but it does line up with my theory. So I don't know if that's good or bad that I was able to figure out what happened, or sort of what happened. I don't know what to say. I really enjoyed this book. So I missed out on the hype. And yeah, I'm glad I got to read this. And thank you, Katie, for recommending me this book. It was definitely a hit. Not sure yet what my rating is going to be. I think I know what my rating is going to be. But I'm going to do something a little different. And I'm going to add on to this vlog here. So I am going to watch the show. Or the miniseries. I don't know if there's like an actual season 2 or whatever, but I'm going to assume that if they do multiple seasons, each season is going to be based on each book. So just some final thoughts. I do like how they wrap this up. So even though there's multiple books in the series, my understanding after doing a little research is that each book is its like own mystery. Oh, Misty woke up. Sorry, Misty, I didn't mean to wake you up. So that's good. So I like that this was neatly wrapped up, that you don't have to read the next books if you don't want to. And I think I don't know if I will or not. I'm definitely like okay with just having this book be the one that I read from this series. I love Ravi and Pip's relationship and friendship. I've said that already. I also love her relationship with her father. I just really, I think it's her stepfather, but because she was so young when her mom and he were married, it's her father. She mentions that, like, this is my dad. And I just love that relationship. I love like when the parents are arguing, when Pip's mom and dad are arguing about the fact that she spends like too much time on schoolwork, and like her father is always on her side. So I absolutely love that. I don't really like her friends too much. Like a couple of them are all right. A couple of them are just like, like, yeah, I don't know. It just reminds me of the Mean Girls from high school. But I do like her relationship with her best friend, Kara. And yeah, that's just like some of my thoughts. So obviously I will not be recording like the actual show, but I will be recording and adding on with some of my thoughts on the show, whether or not it lines up with the book, if I enjoy the show as much as the book, all that stuff. So I will pick up with that probably tomorrow. Again, it's spring break for me at this point. It is Monday night, so I got all the time in the world. And then I will do my final thoughts and wrap up and rating for you guys. But at this point, I definitely will say, Katie, you did a good job. Thank you for this recommendation. It is the day after I finished reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I am putting Netflix on right now. I am going to watch it and record my reactions of that as well, and things like, is it as good as the book? Does it line up with the book, or is this like one of those shows that just goes completely their own way and like deviates from the source material, things like that. I just want to see if I enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the book. So I'm gonna put that on and get started. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to record the show, 1 for spoilers, but 2 for copyright. So you'll just have to get my reactions in the background. So we'll see what happens. Okay, did I miss something? They're all British. Was this book supposed to take place in England? I don't know. I must have missed that. I don't know. In my mind, I thought this was like in California or something like that. Yeah, so it's really throwing me that they're British, and like this town and the houses are nothing like I pictured in my head when I was reading this book. Like, I can't believe I missed it, that it's British. And this is going to be my Roman Empire. If you know, you know. But like, yeah. Anyway, we're still only one. This is still only the first episode, so we'll see how it goes. So I've got a little buddy watching with me. Misty girl. And then Nugget is over there scratching away at his scratching post. Oh, he just stopped. Okay, so episode 1 reactions. I can't connect with the idea that it's British. I am going to double check that in the book to see if there was any mention of that. Because I just feel like if in the book it was meant to take place in like a British town, there would be more like references, like more slang, British slang, things like that, like in the show. So I am thinking, and I could be totally wrong because I don't pick up on these things, that like whoever picked up the show for Netflix was British, and that's why they just kind of did it that way because they were filming and things like that, and the actors. So that's my first gripe. My second gripe is the fact that the actress, she does not seem like she's 17 years old. Like, she really seems much more immature, more like 15. And this is coming from a high school teacher. Like, I teach sophomores who are about 14, 15, and seniors who are about 17, 18. Some of them, like, so to me, it doesn't seem like she's 17. She's supposed to be 17 in the book. So it does not seem like she's a senior in high school. I also, and then they have a flashback to like her interacting with Pip interacting with Sal in school. And I guess in Britain, like, because, they and this is another reason why I think the book is not supposed to take place in Great Britain, is because like they may mention to like head boy, Cambridge, like I don't think there was mention of that. Like, I don't remember them ever saying that like Sal was gonna be head boy, which is a British thing. Like, it's not just a Harry Potter thing. I did learn that a long time ago. And then that would explain then, I guess, the reason why she's having a flashback where she sees Sal and they're in the same school, even though he's a senior in high school and she's supposed to be, there's a 5-year difference. So I guess like 12 years old. But again, the actress that they have playing young Pip looks 8 or 9, not 12. I don't know. So I don't like that. So we'll see how it plays out. Like, if I just saw the show, I'm sure I would enjoy the show just as it is. But my biggest thing is reading the book and then watching the shows or the movies. It's never the same. Everyone here who is a reader can pretty much agree with me there. I don't know. But I think it's about 10 to 9. So I am going to go check my source material and I'm going to head upstairs to bed. Not really to bed, but I'm going to maybe either watch another episode or I might pick up, I don't know what I'm reading right now. Oh, Wonton Terror. Couldn't remember the name of the next book in the Noodle Shop Mysteries. So I did start that on audio this morning while I was working out. So I'm not sure if I'm going to watch another episode or, hi Misty, or just lay down and read for a little while because I am going to breakfast tomorrow morning with my friend and I got some things to do around the house. And I think I want to watch the show before I go back to work. I'm not sure how many episodes are in there, so I got to see that. Maybe like 10 probably. That's what I'm assuming, because all TV shows now are like 10 episodes per season, which is ridiculous. Like, I miss when it was like 20, 22 episodes. But anyway, that is where I am at the end of episode 1. So I'm going to check my source material and then head upstairs to bed. And Misty, I don't know if you can hear Misty, she's purring so loud. Are you purring for everyone in the camera? So that sound that she makes, that is her purring. She is fine. She is not like struggling to breathe or anything. I've had her checked many times. The vet said like that sometimes is normal with cats who like purr and like are overexcited in their purr, so to speak. Like, she makes this crinkly sound where it almost sounds like she can't breathe, but she's totally fine, I promise. She's going to sleep. So I guess I'm sitting down here for a little while. All right, I finally made it upstairs to bed, and neither one of the cats followed me, but that's okay. And I'm just not going to watch another episode tonight. I'm a little too tired, and I feel like I'm going to fall asleep while watching because I'm already yawning. So, I'm going to read a little bit of Wonton Terror, which is one of the buddy reads in the Comfy Cozy Book Club. And I'll watch another episode tomorrow. But I did look in the book. Again, I don't really see much mention of like any type of specific place. They just said like Fairview or Fairfield. I don't even know now. It's just not what I pictured in my head. And then again, I don't see like British slang in the book. I listened and I read with my eyeballs, and there was no British slang in the book. So I think it's just like this like obscure town, and you can kind of fill in the blanks for yourself. And because I'm assuming it's like a British producer or director or whoever picked up the rights to make it into a Netflix show, probably was British, and maybe that's why they did it. But I could be totally wrong. And if I'm wrong and you read the book and you've watched the show and I just missed a big piece of this huge plot, let me know down in the comments. Again, it's just not what I imagined in my head. So I am going to do my best to not let that influence me watching the rest of the episodes. Like I said, there are a few things that I have a couple issues with just watching the first episode, but we'll see if I can get over that watching the rest of it. And that's all I have for tonight, and I will check back in tomorrow after I watch the next episode. Okay, so yesterday and today have been just a little bit chaotic. Yesterday I went out to eat for breakfast with my friend. I came home and did schoolwork, and then I worked on cleaning up the book room upstairs. So I did not get to watch any episodes of A Good Girl's Guide. Today I spent all day. Well, it was originally supposed to be a little bit in the early afternoon. I was on FaceTime with Kat from Kat's Novel Adventures, and she helped me set up my very first live stream and showed me all the ins and outs of StreamYard and all that other stuff. But then, because of course I had to create a thumbnail for that, I've never created a thumbnail for my lives, never done a live. So that turned into me creating a thumbnail with a color scheme that I absolutely love, and I changed every single piece of media that I have for YouTube and Instagram and everything to this new color scheme. I'm not even a year in to my channel, and already I'm changing. I think I love it. No, I know I love it. I just hope it doesn't change too much about my page, like in terms of looking cohesive and things like that. But now I feel like it's a little bit more cohesive because it's all the same color scheme. So even though I have a different thumbnail now for my live streams, a different thumbnail for my vlogs and one for just my regular posts. It all is the same color scheme. I changed the color scheme of my banner, my intro and outro clips for my videos. So everything now is this new color scheme that I don't know what about it. I just all of a sudden fell in love with it. So that's what I worked on today. So I got on the call at 11 in the morning and we were on for about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, but then it's now 5:30 and I'm just sitting down and putting the next episode of A Good Girl's Guide. I'll probably try to watch 2 because I do have some work upstairs to do and unhauling some more books. So we'll see how I feel after the next 2 episodes. And yeah, let's see what happens with the next episode of A Good Girl's Guide. Okay, so like any adaptation of a book, there is some like small changes. Not too big of a deal, but I still can't get over the fact that everybody is so young looking. Like, again, Pip is supposed to be 17. She looks 15 and acts like she's 15, she acts very immature. And I don't mean like immature in like a teenage party way, just like very, very naive. And I know that she is like in the book, but it just seems like putting an actual face in the show to the book, it's not doing it for me. And then even like Andy's friends that are all supposed to be like 22 years old, they seem like they're 18, 19 years old. I just feel like the casting and the ages are way far off, too far off, in my opinion. And I guess I could look it up to see like how old the actors actually are, because obviously I know usually they're older than the characters they play. But like the way they style Pip's clothes and her hair, like they could have done more to make them seem like the ages they're supposed to be in the book. I still love Pip's and her father's relationship. I love her father in the show. Like it's exactly as I imagined him in the books. So I do love that. Her mom is a little annoying. Like I don't think I was that annoyed by her in the book, but I'm very annoyed by her in the show. I don't know, but we'll see. I'm about to watch episode 3. Well, actually, I'm going to heat up some food first, and then I'm going to watch episode 3. All right, so I am on episode 4. I wound up keeping an extra episode on, and there's only 6. So, I don't know, maybe tonight, later on. I mean, it's already like 7 o'clock, but I do want to go upstairs and do some stuff in the book room. They've changed a few things from the book. I don't know if it's really relevant, except that there's like 2 things that are missing from the show that were in the book. I'm not sure if it's gonna like come in later on, but there's something specific about a license plate number that I don't see so far, and then there's a scene that involves her father that was definitely not in the book. I don't know what's gonna play out there, but I don't like it. I don't like what they're insinuating, either one of 2 things. Again, no spoilers, but I don't like that. There's no need to add that. There was plenty enough drama and plenty enough going on in the book. Like, why are they adding these other extra things? Okay. Also the scene with the calamity party, and she meets somebody there that she doesn't meet at the party in the book. Like, she meets them in a different capacity, which is where the license plate number comes in. So, like, I feel like because of that, they're gonna do away with the other thing. And is it a big deal? Probably not. Like, they're still gonna do what they're gonna do, and they'll still come around to the same conclusion, I'm sure, or I hope. But I think it's going that way based off of the scenes and how they're playing out and the people involved. So I don't think they're gonna change it. I mean, things have been known to change in TV shows and movies from the books time and time again. So hopefully they don't do that. But yeah, I'm not really liking this scene that I just watched that involves Pippa's father, or Pip's father. Have I been saying Pippa this whole time? Or Pip? I don't know. And then I'm going to finish episode 4. And then I'll save 5 and 6 probably for tomorrow, because I don't have much going on tomorrow except for things around the house. So I'll throw that on probably. All right, so we just got the answer about the situation with Pip's dad. And I don't like how it turned out. My suspicions of where they were going were correct in terms of what happened, and I'm glad that it turned out to be that and not something else. But I think it added a whole nother level of drama that didn't need to be in the show. Like, there was absolutely no reason to add that, because now it just ruined my whole enjoyment of Pip and her father's relationship. And again, like in the book, it is her stepfather, but she says, like in the book, Pip says it's her father. Like, he raised her. She was so young when her mom and he got married that it's her father. It's not her stepfather. It's not Victor, which she calls him Victor in the show. So I didn't like that. It was unnecessary. Well, I finished the book and I finished the show. What were all my thoughts? And let's just say this was a successful month. I read this. I really enjoyed this. I gave this 4 stars. So in case you forgot, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is about Pippa, who is trying to figure out the mystery of the murder that happened in her town 5 years ago, where Andy Bell, the most popular girl in school, turns up dead, and it turns out that Sal, her boyfriend, was the one who did it. Except she doesn't believe so. So she is going to try to prove Sal's innocence for a school project that she's doing for her final senior year project, things like that. And I really enjoyed this. This was 4 stars. I liked the mystery. Early on, I had some predictions. I was wondering whether or not those predictions were actually going to play out, because I am never good at guessing the mystery. I did sort of figure it out. Like, I didn't figure out why, but I figured out who, kind of. And I really enjoyed that. So I'm very, very happy that Katy recommended this to me. So, couple of things. One, I did figure out why the show is taking place in England versus the book. And I did not know this, but apparently there is a US version of this book that was remade and republished, but the original is set in a British town. So that's why the show is, set in a British town. That threw me when I was watching the show. So the show, I enjoyed it. If I watched it alone, I probably would have said that it was good. It wasn't bad. I really did enjoy it. However, there were certain things that they changed that just kind of like, I didn't like it. Of course, there were things left out. They did change a few things with the like characters and their relationship, like with her father. There were a couple things that happened that just like, I feel like was added for like dramatic effect that really didn't need it. How Pip finds out who the killer is also is different in the show than the books. Yeah. But overall, 4 stars on both. And this was a successful month. So Katy, thank you for this recommendation. I am so glad that I enjoyed it and that I picked this up. Well, make sure you check back to see who I asked to pick my May book and what they recommended for me. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Did you read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder? Did you enjoy it? What was your rating? Are you intrigued? All of those thoughts. And if you've stuck around and just don't feel like commenting, but just want to let me know you are here, then put the detective emoji down in the comments. And that's all I have for this month's pick. Bye.